Hello and welcome. This is Tanya. I am so excited to be here. It's been a crazy weekend, very crazy weekend for me. And I just want to wish everybody a happy Martin Luther King Day. Um, that's made me feel better. I had, not to get too personal, but I had some medical issues that I've been taking care of. So it's been a crazy, crazy weekend. That being said, let's get into what's happening. Now, first of all, let me just do the legal disclaimer. All readings and messages shared here are for entertainment purposes only and reflect intuitive impressions and not facts. That being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I really enjoy reading what you have to say. The Epstein, as much as they're trying to distract and cover up for the Epstein stuff, it's still coming up. And I got a hit on this the other day. I see a video coming out, a very clear, you don't need to explain what's happening video that is going to shock everybody. I see it out in the social media, and I see it being verified, and I see all hell kind of breaking loose as a result of this. So there's no hiding from all this stuff. It's coming, and he can't stop it, regardless of how he wants to create wars and distract with the Nobel Peace Prize and all this other stuff. Interestingly enough, he finally got the Nobel Peace Prize, but now they're pushing to blacklist them both from ever receiving one, and to take hers back from him, because the Nobel Peace Prize Committee spoke out and said it's not transferable, it's not giftable. You can't just automatically give it to someone and then they could say, "Oh, I've got my Nobel Peace Prize." It doesn't work that way. But that's what they're trying to do, or that's what they tried to do. But the Norwegians are not happy with it. What I woke up to today with the Europeans are gathering around Greenland. They're not backing down. They're not backing down at all. And interestingly enough, France and the UK gave Trump intelligence information that was incorrect. They did it purposely to see where he was going to pass it on, if he was going to pass it on. And sure enough, he did pass it on, incorrect information. As a result, they're no longer going to be sharing with us classified information. That is so incredibly dangerous from both sides. A, the fact that he passed it on to somebody who shouldn't have seen it, and B, the fact that they're no longer sharing it with us because we're no longer trustworthy. That should be alarming to a lot of people. That being said, we entered into a very scary area, and I don't want to scare people because that's not my job here. My job is to let you know it's going to be okay. Like right now, things are crazy, but it's going to become okay. We've entered a very weird area where Trump is paying social media influencers to magnify the hate around the world. And people around the world are noticing, and they're putting him on notice. They literally said, "We see what you're doing, and stop. We're not going to be bullied. We're not going to be made to do things we don't want to do." I mean, if you look at these poor Greenland officials, I mean, they're coming out of meetings literally upset because they're being bullied to sell something that they don't want to sell. How can you buy something if somebody doesn't want to sell it to you? It's insane. But he thinks he has this God-given right to have this. And I didn't realize until I did some reading. A gazillion years ago, we, the United States, had an opportunity to purchase Greenland. We have an army base over there. We have a great relationship with them, or had. And even the officials are like, "What do you want that we're not giving you? You wanted." We've had more army bases in Greenland, but we only now have one. if we wanted more, they'd be okay with it. So it's a fruitless effort to gain it. And he needs to stop. And the thing is, it's not even, it's distraction. It truly is distraction. We don't even support the countries that we do obtain. I was in Puerto Rico a couple years back, and beautiful country, beautiful people, but the infrastructure is horrible. Ever since I think it was Hurricane Sandy, they never recovered. You will go there, and these great restaurants that you want to try they don't have service. They don't have gas, so they can only, do what they can. So if you can't provide that to the countries that were happy to become part of our union, why are you trying to drag a country in that's saying no? It's insane. It's truly insane. But the good news is Tanya Chutkin, the judge, has a lovely name, that Tanya. Anyway, in the cases that she was working on, the January 6th case, a lot of those defendants, and a lot of the ways that this administration tries to work the courts is to delay, obfuscate, delay, and just run out the clock. Now, here's the thing. When people know your playbook, they adapt. This woman is a smart woman. You don't need to hear me say it. Look at her record. She has just imposed sanctions on the lawyers. Now, here's the thing that I didn't understand. By imposing sanctions on items that are delayed, she's instructing the jury to assume that they're guilty for the things that they're delaying. Now, in that regard, the government no longer has to prove anything. What she's focused on is conspiracy and collusion, which are a lot of the things that Jack Smith had in his report, that he was colluding with the co-defendants. He was conspiring in different regards. Now, the fact that the delays that they're doing for the information they don't want to provide, or they're hesitant to provide, or they're obfuscating on whatever they're supposed to do, by her doing this, it kills their defense. A good lawyer was pointing out this happened in the Enron case. One of the lawyers who worked the Enron case, a lot of the reasons why they won is because the opposite, the opposing counsel was doing all of that. They were delaying. They were I can't even get the word out. They were denying. There were things that were deleted, things that were burned. They did so many delay tactics, and the judge finally put the sanctions on and said, by this I mean you can assume that they're guilty of deleting the information. You can assume that they're guilty of conspiracy. And that literally won the case. So them trying to do this, and here's the thing, his lawyer back in the day was Roy Cohen, who I think he followed the snake oil salesman, that sneaky lawyer trick, that he would, he used the law to break the law. And by doing that, he would run out the clock. He would exhaust people to the point that it was like nobody was doing this yet. So his tactics were new-ish to them. So, people were just like, whatever, they were exhausted. They just gave it to him. And he eventually lost his law license. Because again, when you play with the same playbook, people learn your moves, and then they use your moves against you. So he lost his law license. And you notice a lot of Trump's lawyers are losing their law license. And now that, this lawyer has, imposed sanctions, that's just like game over. Because now all the other cases that he has gone on, all the other cases that they're trying to run out the clock and try to delay and dismiss and do all this other stuff, they're going to be taking notes and go, oh, wait a minute. Look at what she did there. Yeah, I got you. I see you. I see you right now. I'm going to do that as well. So yeah, it worked so far for him. but game over. And now we're going in and the judges ruled. And I'm so grateful that she did this. And I know that the other lawyers out there who are doing cases and the other judges, they're like, yeah, I'm taking notes. She did a very detailed brief about the sanctions, outlining the things that they're trying to avoid. It's beautiful. See, that's the thing. When you have intelligent, smart judges, they're not playing by those games. Like, I remembered watching her or reading about her during all the cases that she had. And as she was speaking, it was just, she was very precise. She was very exact. She knew her stuff. And she was playing it the best way that she could, because she knows. She wasn't going by the seat of her pants. She was very thorough, measured judge. And frankly, that's the best one you can possibly have. Fair and measured. Not somebody who's just trying, scam tactics like Eileen Cannon. So, I think I got just about everything I want to talk about. I do want to say, going into this year, it's going to, like I said, it's going to get better. I know we've got all this crap that we're hearing on a day-to-day basis, but a lot of this is manufactured because he's trying to distract us from the things that he doesn't want to talk about. The fact that he doesn't want the Epstein files to come out. They're saying it's so difficult because they have to redact it. The stuff has already been redacted. It literally has already been redacted. And for them to have 500 people working overtime to do this, it's insane. And the Epstein survivors are going to find ways to leak the information of the people that were participating. They've already started. Literally, if you don't believe me, go on social media, #Epstein. They're literally naming names. And I saw a couple of senators, so I'm just saying, this is no wonder a lot of them are all in the same boat trying to obfuscate, hide everything, and make this go away. And if you look at the records, Pam Bondi was involved in this. And this is not speculation. Look at the notes. She worked in the Florida office in Miami. She was involved in this. She was part of that legal team. So for her to say she doesn't know anything or there's nothing to see is insane. And also, Michael Cohen did a complete turnaround. And now he's saying that he was pressured to say things that he didn't want to say by the New York team, which is interesting because the minute he said that, there was a FBI released, I think it was the Epstein family, released an email. There was one, I forgot where, there's so much information, I forgot where it was coming from. There was an email from Michael's lawyers to the Department of Justice lawyers asking for, and I forgot the term that they used, but it was a term that would give him no, immunity. It would give him immunity in that case. And he was implying that he knew more and had more to tell about Epstein that he didn't share before. But he was giving that on the idea that if he did, he would have immunity. Now, if you're now saying that there was nothing, you didn't see anything, people made you, or forced you to do that, why did you try to negotiate with the New York team to get immunity? So, yeah, and actually, after that came out, all of a sudden, the money grifts that he was doing, because Michael, all of a sudden, he turned himself around. He became an anti-Trump guy. He started telling the truth. But remember, in the background, they kept saying he lied under oath. He perjured himself for, you know who. But with this happening, it's like, yeah, no. It's his jobs that he got, the podcast that he was doing, it's all going away because he had no income outside of Trump. I mean, I think he had something like how many medallions. He spent how much money on taxi medallions, which in the past, pre-Uber and Lyft, that was a way people would make money. You save up your money and buy one of those medallions, and you could have somebody driving for you, and you earning income off those medallions. But then when Uber and Lyft came into the picture, that was just like a waste. That was an antiquated system, which made sense when Uber came out. And I remember the UK and Paris, literally cab drivers were like incensed. Just think about it. You spend all your life to get a medallion, because I think it was like $75,000 to $100,000 to be able to afford one of those, not to mention the legal rigmarole that you would have to do to get it. So that being said, you're just putting all this money into being able to earn one so that you could be in charge of your finances, and you could be your own boss, only to have some like whippersnapper come out, create this like app that really killed your idea. So yeah, all these career drivers were incensed. I didn't see it then, but I see it now. Like, I honestly wasn't like clued into like the whole shenanigans of it all. But now I'm like, yeah, I get it. But yeah, so Michael Cohen like flipping and saying that, he knew nothing is just like, wow, liar, liar, pants on fire. And again, it's a shame because his money came from Trump. And when Trump cut him off, he was writing a book. He was doing podcasts. People were inviting him on their podcasts and giving him clout, giving him a platform. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. But now those platforms are being taken away because of what he's doing or what he did. The lie he told, and it's like, wait, here's the proof that you were trying to get immunity. So yeah, I said this before, and it's playing out. A lot of the chickens are coming home to roost, and a lot of the truth is coming out, regardless of who doesn't want it to come out. So just relax, do your meditation, do your breathing, and know this is not over yet. It's far from over, but they're not getting the results that they want. They're not getting the wins that they want. They're actually losing in real time. We're losing, sadly, on a global scale because our friends are no longer our friends because we betrayed them. That's what happens when you screw a friendship, NATO is supporting Greenland, and you can't blame them. Other countries are supporting Greenland. So when he comes and says he's going to add tariffs, the other countries are like, heck, we could do stuff too. They're not backing down. And that's the thing about a narcissist and a tyrant. When you don't back down, they don't know what to do. It's like they're frozen in place and they're like rambling. It's like a robot. It's like an error message because they don't know what to do. They can't go forward. So yeah, and we're only in January. This is going to be a really good year. Really good year. But I just want you to be calm, breathe, and know that we're going to get through this, and we're going to be better for it. A lot of stuff is going to be put in place as a result of the crap that's happening. I'm seeing a lot of judges basically take ICE's power away and freeze them because it's insane. You can't lie about what you're seeing. They're constantly saying that woman who was murdered, oh, look at what she did. And it's like, I saw a BBC reporter interviewing Mike Johnson, and he was like, well, the tape shows it all. And she's like, well, the tape, we've seen the tape. The tape does show it all. How can you explain that? How can you justify that? And he literally was like rambling. He was just like, because his lies were not being accepted, he was rambling. And it was even worse because it was just like the interviewer was like, wait, you didn't answer the question. You're just giving me a word salad. It doesn't work. Like, I speak English. I'm British. Like, so whatever. Like I said, please like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to comment. And don't forget to breathe and relax and know this is going on now, but it's not going to happen forever. We have brighter times and better days ahead of us. Let's just take care of each other, be kind to each other, and just breathe. Oh, and also, if you're looking for a reading, email me at info@LaurenSt. I have a couple spots open this week, and I'd love to do a reading for you. Take care.